Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So let me show you two very contrasting pictures. On one hand, we have good companies like HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank, ICICI Bank, results aane wale hain, DMART, Asian Paints, all have posted good results. But unfortunately, the stock price of these good companies is not moving up. On the flip side, if you look at some other companies, for example, Mazgaon Docks, if you look at something like IRFC or Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, all these companies are at all-time high. But if you check the fundamentals of the company, it's not as if that business has suddenly grown and pehle 1000 crore ka business hota tha, now 10,000 crore business is happening and companies generating like crazy profit, nothing of that sort. So why is this dichotomy? So the word of the day today is dichotomy. Let me know what does that mean. So let me know why this dichotomy is there in the stock market and what impact does it have on you as a stock investor? Because many beginner, intermediate level players in the stock market will say, you know what, IRFC has gone and given massive run up. अब मैं entry ले लेता हूँ in IRFC. I will make money because stock price बढ़ रहा है. That means it's a very good stock. On the flip side, we will not end up buying good companies that are available at sensible buying levels. उसमें दुनिया भर की problems दिख जाएंगी कि you know what, export problem is there, guidance has been given bad, this, that. Okay. Now the reason why we end up chasing a running bus in terms of price, कि भाई stock price बढ़ रहा है, we will chase that stock only, is because we do not have fundamental understanding of things. So on this video, I am going to help you understand the macros, the macroeconomics that is happening around us. 4 or 5 very important developments that have happened in the last few months. I will consolidate all these key points for you, will tell you why we are near a bull run. Why is it that I'm not pulling out much money from the market? That does not mean that you should not be cutting positions in certain stocks. I will talk about those as well. At least will give you hints along the way. There are stocks where I'm building positions. I will reveal those as well. On that note, let me kickstart the video, and also a very humble request that do check out our member community. It's an excellent community of serious learners. I give out daily updates on whatever is happening in the stock market. को दुनिया भर की पढ़ाई नहीं करनी पड़ेगी. If you just simply go through those updates, you will be able to update your knowledge set and take actions in the stock market. That is the intent with which that community has been designed, that you learn fundamentals of investing in a very easy, no nonsensical way. कि आपको भर भर के बहुत सारी चीजें नहीं करनी. You guys are busy with your job, studies, all that stuff. Let me consolidate all useful information that you need to know on daily basis, and I give almost daily commentary. Once you update yourself, understand the fundamentals, you will have more faith in whatever decisions you are making. So on that note, let us kickstart our video. So the first thing that you should understand is the stark picture that I just spoke about. So for example, take a look at Rail Vikas Nigam Limited. Okay. And what is happening here? So if you check, the stock price was somewhere around 35. Okay. And now within a few months, the stock has gone 5x, 5 times. And it is around 170. Okay. In terms of P, if you check, it is sitting at its highest ever P. Has the business improved dramatically? Okay, so let's take a look. भाई पहले भी वो पिछले साल तक P it was making like 750, 760. Before COVID also it was making like 700 के आसपास. Double हो गया. So stock price should double. भाई कितना था stock price before COVID, right? So the stock price was somewhere around, let's say 23, 24. आप 60 मान लो, 80 मान लो, 90 मान लो, right? Right now it is trading at like 160, 170. Now you guys tell me whether you should be holding such stocks, not holding such stocks. That's an important point for you to decipher. Now let me show you opposite picture. Now अब HDFC के बारे में I keep on talking all day. So let me pick some other bank. For example, Kotak Mahindra Bank, let's pick. And if you check that 2018, what was the situation? It was 25. How much has the revenues grown? Almost double, right? How much has the profits grown? Almost triple. And where is the stock price, right? Pre-COVID, post-COVID. So in 2019-ish, here is pre-COVID level. It was at 1500. Right now where it is almost at 1600. So profits have tripled, but the stock price has barely moved, right, in the last 3-4 years on Kotak Mahindra Bank. So now you yourself apply brain, right? Forget about what I'm telling you. You yourself apply brain that if you have to invest 1 lakh rupee or 10,000 rupee today, where is it that you should be investing? Should you be buying things when they are cheap, or should you be buying something when it is crazy expensive? So hopefully this gives you clarity. Now this is the same analysis that you can run on a bunch of stocks. It will make things extremely clear. If you like this simple approach, please consider pressing the like button. It will make more investors fundamentally aware about things. On this channel, I don't do unnecessary speculation कि भाई ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है and all that stuff. I give you concrete commentary so that you can take actions, right? So this is one. Now comes the natural response कि यार ऐसा हो क्यों रहा है that good stocks are posting good results, but the improvement is not coming in terms of price, because that is what I bother about. I have put like 100 rupees on HDFC Bank, कल से वो बढ़ने लगी, right? And every day it gives 2% gains. Why is that not happening? So there are 2-3 broad reasons why that is not happening as per my understanding. The first key reason is that you have to understand something called as the builder theory. So builder theory means that, for example, जो भी builders होते हैं, right, when they buy a land, right, and they build like buildings on it. Have you ever seen a builder buying a land at crazy expensive prices? The short answer would be a no. Builder भाई साहब bankrupt भी होगा ना, then also he or she will go and buy land at dirt cheap prices, जुगाड़ फुगाड़ लगा के पीछे से कुछ setting वेटिंग करके they will buy things at extremely low prices. फिर क्या न्यूज़ निकलने लग जाती है कि अच्छा ओहो मेट्रो आने वाली है, ओहो एयरपोर्ट आने वाला है, ओहो दिस थर्ड थिंग इज गोइंग टू हैपन, मॉल आने वाला है एंड ऑल दैट, एंड दिस इज गोइंग टू बिकम लाइक पैराडाइज ऑन अर्थ. एंड फिर आपको अपार्टमेंट बेच दिए जाते हैं, दुनिया भर की चीज़ें, एंड देन यू फाइनली रियलाइज कि यार what the hell is this? I purchased it at like crazy high prices. Something similar happens in the stock market also, that things are highly discounted sometimes, but the prices do not move. Why? Because the aggregation is happening from big operators, which are like builders in the stock market, so to say. जब तक उनकी aggregate position नहीं बन जाएगी, तब तक the stock is not going to move up. Now you will say that this is your opinion. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है कि operator आया and then unless his or her position gets filled, the retail investors will not make money. Exactly ऐसा ही होता है. You can check the data. Okay, so let me show that to you, and you can check the FII, DII data, and please answer one simple question. So here is the FII, DII data. This thing is FII and this thing is DII, right? So what you will see is this red, green. Okay, so for example, the days when FIIs are selling, DIIs are buying. When FIIs are selling, DIIs are buying, right? When FIIs are buying, कभी-कभी ये भी खरीद लेते हैं, right? But mostly what you will notice is, and you can do this on monthly basis also, you will see this combination of red, green. आप scroll करते चलो, 5-7 साल तक आप scroll करो, आपको हमेशा ये red, green दिखेगा, right? So why is it that FIIs are selling and DIIs are buying, and then FIIs are buying, DIIs are selling? So ऐसा क्यों होता है, right? What sense does it make? Well, because it's an operator game, right? 80-90% game in the stock market about the price of a stock is maintained by FIIs and DIIs combination. That's a fact. Okay. Now I can do all the business analysis in the world. आप दुनिया की 500 न्यूज़ सुन लो, कुछ नहीं होने वाला unless FIIs, DIIs make a pact कि अच्छा अब इस स्टॉक को ऊपर लेके जाना है. Now comes the natural question कि भाई फिर तो यार बहुत गड़बड़ बात है. If everything is operated by operators, then what is the point of me investing in the stock market? Okay, so there you need to understand a basic concept called as PE ratio. Okay, so PE ratio simply means this, right? So PE means price to earnings, right? So let's say that the price of the stock is not moving, it is just staying sideways, but earnings, which is the denominator, is going up. For example, right now the earnings for Kotak Bank is going up, HDFC Bank is going up, दुनिया भर की चीजें. Then what will happen to PE ratio? Well, the PE ratio is going to come down, and it is coming down. This is the PE ratio of Kotak Mahindra Bank, and कितने पे PE पे है? Almost 20 के PE पे है. What is the usual PE of Kotak Mahindra Bank? Well, this is the median PE, what you are seeing, right? It is around 31. Okay, and if there is no fundamental business problem, by fundamental business problem I means क्या revenues ठीक है उनके, ऐसा कुछ problem है नहीं, profits आ रहे हैं, then why is it that the PE of the stock fell from 31 to 20? Well, the reason is very simple कि price को move होने ही नहीं दिया, right? The price did not move at all. Okay, but the earnings kept on going up. Now see, there is a limit to which you can control the PE of a stock. Okay, so going back to that builder example, so let's say that this piece of land is highly lucrative. सबको पता है, right? I mean, सिटी में खबर फैल चुकी है कि अच्छा this piece of land is highly lucrative. Now why will you say that? Because आसपास बहुत डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, दुनिया भर की चीज़ें चल रही हैं, मंत्री जी ने मॉल इनॉग्रेट कर दिया and what not. So will you not go and apply your brain कि अच्छा हाँ यार इतना डेवलपमेंट तो हो रहा है, so should I probably not go and buy it, right? So you will go and buy that land, right? Something similar happens in the stock market, that if the earnings are going up and up, right? Quarter after quarter, operator के पास कोई option ही नहीं बचेगा that they will have to take this stock up. Okay, so this is the basic point. This happens at broad stock market level also and at individual stocks also. So for that, let me share point number 3. So here what you will see is case that see, पहली चीज़ तो आप यहाँ पे ये notice करोगे that if you take a look at Nifty 50, okay, it goes up. जनरली जाना निफ्टी ने ऊपर ही है, राइट? सो दैट इज फर्स्ट की पॉइंट दैट यू मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड. ओके, देन सेकंड की पॉइंट, एंड लेट मी जस्ट जूम आउट. देर आर फेजेस इन निफ्टी व्हेन इट कंसोलिडेट्स. सो दिस इज अ कंसोलिडेशन फेज फॉर निफ्टी. दिस बॉक्स फॉर्मेशन हो जाती है. सो इसमें होगा क्या, द निफ्टी विल गो साइडवेज, देन इट विल कंटिन्यू टू गो साइडवेज, एंड किसी पॉइंट पे इट विल गिव अ शार्प रिकवरी एंड एन अप मूव. अप मूव कब होता है? आफ्टर कंसोलिडेशन इज ओवर. नाउ नो वन इन द वर्ल्ड नोज व्हेन द कंसोलिडेशन इज ओवर. ओके, दैट्स अ सिंपल बेसिक पॉइंट. अगर मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ कि भाई साहब मार्केट नेक्स्ट 6 महीने में इज गोइंग टू मेक अ बुल रन और 3 महीने में इट इज गोइंग टू मेक अ बुल रन, दोज आर ऑल अप्रॉक्सिमेशंस, बट देयर आर सर्टन मैक्रो क्यूज दैट यू कैन डेफिनेटली रीड एंड एक्ट अपॉन. Now, of course, timing wise you can be wrong, but see, fundamentally if a business is good, उसको आना ही है ऊपर, right? That's a simple point. आपको थका दिया जाएगा कि यार HDFC बैंक तो मूव ही नहीं करता, बट भाई साहब आप देखते चले जाओगे कि PE is going down, down and down, and एक point तक ही PE is going to go down. After that, it will have to give a run up. That is what the fundamental says. Why? Because everyone can see कि भाई results are great, but price is not moving. They will continue to buy it. They will continue to buy it, and फिर ऊपर पहुंच जाएगा stock, right? So please don't worry about that. Stocks will run up. 99.99% होगा ही वो चीज़, unless something bad happens in the entire market and something bad happens कि अब यार कुछ कॉर्पोरेट कंसर्न्स आ गई एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ, दैट इज बियॉन्ड अस. बट हर छोटी न्यूज़ को इतना बढ़ा चढ़ा के बताया जाएगा कि आपको लगेगा कि यार ये अच्छे अच्छे स्टॉक्स जो हैं दे आर हार्डली गिविंग एनी रिटर्न्स. सो प्लीज डोंट बिलीव इन दैट, प्लीज बी सेंसिबल. सो जस्ट वेरी क्विकली रिकैपिंग, व्हाई डू आई फील दैट वी आर नियर अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग बुल रन राइट नाउ? The reason has to do with the fact that we are in a very good consolidation phase right now, and consolidation के बाद market ऊपर ही जाएगा. Why is the market consolidating? Is it consolidating so that it goes down? अगर होना होता वो अब तक हो चुका होता. जब इसराइल पैलेस्टीन वॉर हो गया, वैसे रशिया यूक्रेन वॉर हो गया, in most of the phase the market has consolidated only, right? On top of that US में growth नहीं हो रही है, inflation problem है, दुनिया यूरोप स्लो डाउन हो गया है, दुनिया भर की चीज़ें हो गई हैं. So all that stuff, and still the market hasn't gone down, it has simply consolidated. So we are near a bull run. Now comes next two important pieces of news which will be played in the market in the next few months, and आपको again डराया जाएगा that you know what, खत्म होने वाला market and you know सब बेच बाच के निकल जाओ, अच्छे अच्छे stocks अपने वगैरह वगैरह. What are those two pieces of news? Okay, so number one piece of news is the US slowdown. So take a look at this particular article, and इस news को base बना के market को फिर गिराया जाएगा, या you know it will be kept sideways. Now how much will the market fall? I don't know, I can't comment on it, but see, here is the point, right? You will read this piece of news that US will slow down to 1.4% in 2023 as Federal Reserve interest rate hikes work their way through the economy. अब इतनी मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स किसी को आती नहीं है, वो आपको समझाएंगे नहीं इतनी चीज़ें. अब एग्जैक्टली हो क्या रहा है, right? If you look at the growth phase for the US from 2018 all the way till 2020 before COVID, why was the US economy doing okay and the world economy doing really well, right? Why, what was the reason for that? Well, the reason was that the interest rates were close to 0%, right? Very low interest rate environment was there. What happens when the interest rates are very low? Well, when the interest rates are very low, companies borrow a lot, okay? People borrow a lot. जो आपकी EMI payment वगैरह जो आप करते हो, if the rate of interest on it goes down, खुश हो गए, right? You will borrow more. So people borrow a lot. All this reflects into what? All this reflects into growth of the economy, because when people borrow more, spend more, there is more growth that can be हवा चला दी जाती है, अच्छा ग्रोथ हो रही है, this that stuff, right? So I hope that you got the picture. What is that the case? In US, the thing is that this angle is very, very prominent, that US in order to grow requires very low interest rates. Okay, why is that the case? Because the size of their economy is really big, दुनिया भर की चीज़ें हैं. So for them to grow at a faster pace, the avenue for growth for them is debt oriented. Okay, that's the point. On top of that, because US has the reserve currency of the world, they can print a lot of money, they can take a lot of debt. So this is something that is the modus operandi for their economy's growth in very simple terms. Okay. Then after 2020, what has happened is that because the inflation problem became so high, that inflation means the increase in price rise, इतनी ज़्यादा हो गई थी कि लोग छोड़ के भागने लग गए US, right? In fact, I have met so many people in Goa, so many Americans in Goa who have left US for good. They have either shifted to Southeast Asia or they are shifting to places like Goa. Why? Because the cost of living in Goa or in Southeast Asia is relatively inexpensive compared to what is there in the US. आप 4-5 गुना पैसा ही कमाओगे in the US, then also your standard of living will not be as high as it is in India from a lot of angles. अब ये apples to apples comparison नहीं है. Kindly do not get into the debate. साफ सड़कें होती हैं and all that stuff. That is not where we are going. So anyways, I hope you got the picture that inflation in the economy was very, very high. It was so high that people started to leave the US. Now check what is the inflation data says. The inflation in the US is coming back to control. Okay. Now what will happen next? The interest rates are going to cut. Okay, so that is what is going to happen, and this is going to accelerate the growth in the US again. So this is the optics. But meanwhile, what is happening is that, see, in between 2021 and 2022, when the inflation was high, their government, in fact, our government also made the decision कि भाई साहब interest rate बढ़ा दो. Okay, make the interest rates high so that inflation comes down. ये inflation अपने आप नीचे थोड़ी आ गया, right? You had to increase the interest rates. So meanwhile, the repayment of debt, because interest rate means what? It's the EMI payment for the government in a way. So since the interest rates were high, this debt has to be repaid. So for 2-3 quarters, or even maybe beyond that, maybe 4-5 quarters, the interest rate will work through the economy. That is what the article says. This is not something which is out of the blue or the market does not understand and बहुत भारी भरकम गिरावट हो जाएगी. Yes, the growth will be sluggish, but the growth will go from 1.4% all the way till 3% as soon as the interest rates are cut. Okay, so this is the optics. I hope that I was able to explain this highly complicated macro concept. Again, I would request serious investors to kindly join the YouTube member community. I teach a lot of macroeconomics there. You would love it. Try it for a couple of months, see the results for yourself. So anyways, to cut the long story short, what ends up happening is that, see, US में slowdown है, right? So US slowdown, news will be amped up. Till that point, the large caps in India will be kept low. अब सवाल आता है कि अच्छा, why will large caps in India be kept low, especially good large caps? The reason there is again very simple, that where do you think FIIs build most of their positions? If you know the answer, then you have already solved the puzzle. Well, the FIIs will build most of their position in blue chip large cap companies in India. And when will they build positions? Well, when the buying price of those assets is right for them, जहाँ पे उनका 40-50% return, 40-50% return they can make. So therefore, good large cap companies which are consistently posting very good results are still not moving up because it hasn't reached the buying price for FIIs. Now say कि यार जब पहुंच जाएगा, then only I will buy. Till then I will reserve my money. I will start entering when FIIs enter. You can't figure it out. It's impossible to do it. No one can figure it out when FIIs have started buying in bulk. You cannot see the specific trades that these guys are making. It's impossible to do that. So this brings me to the final part of this video. I'll keep it brief to the point. So there are 3-4 key things that you must remember. Number one point, should you invest, not invest in this market? 100% invest. There is nothing wrong in terms of investing. आपको नहीं समझ में आता where bulk buying opportunity is, if you don't want to buy like blue chip, this individual stock, that individual stock, no problem, do it in SIP, don't close your SIP. Number 2 point, there will be massive correction on some of the stocks even from this point. I feel that these would be candidates like railway stocks, these would be candidates like defense stocks, these would be candidates like Mazgaon Dock and all that infrastructure based companies. They will be hit by debt quite a bit. Tomorrow on the member community section, I will write a detailed post outlining the same. Okay, so this is point 2. Point number 3, should you buy undervalued things? Yes. What are undervalued things? I have been saying for a bit, like banks ho gaye. These are good corporate banks now, not public sector banks. Public sector bank, probably different discussion, different video, but corporate banks posting good results, they will go up, right? It might take 3-6 months. I can't comment on when they will go up, but they are likely to go up. It really depends on what price the operators or FIIs bring the market down to, right? So this is the point. Then comes point number 4, that please be diversified. People laugh at me that, yeah, Akshat, you're like diversified, you're buying this also, that also. You have to be, right? Why? Think about it this way, that जब debt आप ज़्यादा ले लेते हो, when there is more debt on the world, what has happened? The volatility in the market is going to be extremely high. With debt comes volatility. What is the meaning of volatility? Volatility means market को ऊपर जाना violently, नीचे आना violently, ऊपर जाना violently, नीचे आना violently. If you are not diversified, then you can't either cut your position, you will have a hard time cutting your positions, and if you don't want to be diversified, you will not aggregate a range of assets. So very, very critical that you have range of assets. Final point is that please start investing, learning about cash flow assets. It's critical that you have some cash flow going for you. If you don't have cash flows, then you will not be able to downward average things. That's the central point that you must remember. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. If you did, do press the like button, and as a next video, definitely do consider checking out this video, why the world is taking more and more debt and how you can get rich from this particular trend that is playing out. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and I'll see you soon.